Even though JFK was tragically assassinated during his first term in office, the limousine he was shot in went on to transport a few more heads of state over the years. But where is the modified 1961 Lincoln Continental over 60 years later? The assassination of President John F. Kennedy on November 22, 1963, is one of the darkest events of modern American history. While campaigning in Dallas, Texas, President Kennedy's limousine, a four-door Lincoln Continental convertible, rolled into Dealey Plaza at 12:30 p.m. The top was down, and as the president and first lady waved to cheering onlookers, Lee Harvey Oswald shot him from the Texas School Book Depository. Oswald managed to get off 3 shots, hitting the president twice and Texas Governor John Connally once. Kennedy was rushed to the hospital but was declared dead shortly after. While most Americans probably know what happened to the humans involved in the case, one thing that's typically left out of the story is the fate of the car. President Kennedy's Lincoln wasn't purchased off the showroom floor and immediately ready to go. It required several modifications in order to be part of Kennedy's motorcade. A 1961 Lincoln Continental was majorly upgraded and dubbed X100 by the Secret Service. The car's roof came in 3 configurations, including the ability to remove it, as was done in Dallas. The X100 also featured a rear seat which could be raised by 10.5 inches to elevate the president. It had additional steps added for Secret Service agents who could stand upon them while holding onto special handles. The X100 was also outfitted with flashing lights and a siren, as well as 2 radio telephones for communications. Other modifications included various aesthetic changes to the grille and wheel covers, but at the end of the day, it was the added seals and flagstaffs that made the X100 look truly presidential. As one might guess, though, the biggest flaw in the car's design stemmed from its removable roof. It quite possibly would have saved President Kennedy had it been installed on that fateful day. Ultimately, it was Kennedy's decision to remove the roof so he could wave to his supporters and enjoy the weather.
Once they realized that they aren't going to have any rain problems, they took the top off.
Kennedy's Lincoln was considered a crime scene, so it was impounded for evidence after the assassination. The car was dutifully examined throughout the investigation, with the plan being to modify it in Cincinnati before returning it to Washington, D.C. The Secret Service felt it would be easier and less expensive to return the X100 to service than build another car. A month after the assassination, Project D2 was formed for this purpose, bringing in members of multiple organizations. The White House signed off on Project D2, which began in mid-December 1963 and was completed on May 1, 1964. The newly modified X100 underwent significant performance testing and was delivered to the White House that June. Initially, the car cost around $200,000, but Project D2 cost more than $500,000 because of all the enhancements. The improved presidential limousine featured additional armor, a permanent roof, a new engine, a second air conditioner, new communication devices, and reinforced components. The limousine continued operating for the White House for several years, but it's believed that President Johnson avoided using it as much as possible. That said, in 1967, it was time for another upgrade. Project R2 was initiated in January 1967 and included several additional modifications. The air conditioning unit was updated once more, ensuring better operation with an increased cooling capacity. The right rear door also received added specialized armor and glass. The cost of Project R2 isn't clear, but it wasn't the last time the vehicle received upgrades. Over the next decade, the limo was modified to include even more technological improvements. The car continued to serve the White House for a decade, ferrying Presidents Johnson, Nixon, Ford, and Carter until it was retired in 1977. It now resides at the Henry Ford Museum in Dearborn, Michigan, where it is available to be seen by the public. Used by 5 U.S. presidents, the X100 will always be an important part of American history.